In Crayta, game environments are built with a mixture of voxel building and 3D mesh placement. This is similar to how levels are laid out in other game engines, where you can use primitive shapes and imported meshes to construct environments.
To manipulate the position and rotation of objects, Crayta has an in-world gizmo, similar to that in Unity or Unreal. You can use this gizmo to translate and rotate entities in the world.
Your world is organised in the world tree, a hierarchy much like Unity's hierarchy or Unreal's world outliner. Here you can make one entity a child of another, create new entities, group entities, and so on.
The library window in Crayta is where you will find all of the assets you can use in your game. Whereas other game engines have a folder-based system for their assets, the Crayta library is organised by asset type, with a search field and tags allowing you to quickly find what you're looking for. There's also a hotbar here for those assets you need to use often.
Games in Crayta are made up of one or more worlds. Assets are shared between worlds, but each world provides a fresh hierarchy, where you can build a new level, for example. This is similar to scenes in Unity or maps in Unreal.
The world in Crayta is made up of objects that we refer to as entities. This is the same concept as game objects in Unity or actors in Unreal.
Crayta's property window is where you can add components to an entity. And adjust properties on the entity or any of its components.
Each entity in Crayta has a type, for example, a mesh entity. This is slightly different to an engine such as Unity, where you need to add components such as a mesh filter and a mesh renderer to a game object to have a mesh in the game.
Where Unity has prefabs and Unreal has blueprints, in Crayta we have templates. A template is made of one or more entities which act as an asset. This asset can be added to a world, creating an instance of it. Changes to the master template will propagate to instances of that template in the world. They can also be used as an asset within game logic, allowing them to be spawned at runtime, for example.
The Crayta store is a place where creators can upload packages. These packages can be downloaded and used in other games, similar to the Unity Asset Store or the Marketplace in Unreal.
Game logic is scripted using Lua. Scripts can be attached to entities and then written and updated in the in-game code editor. This is similar to how Unity and Unreal would attach scripts to objects, but in those engines, the scripts are edited externally.
All UI is written in widgets using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. These widgets can be dragged onto an entity in the world or onto a template, much like a UI game object in Unity.
In the same way that you're able to change settings like the skybox, fog, and lighting in Unity's lighting settings or Unreal's world settings, Crayta also has the game and world settings menus. From here, players are able to adjust a whole bunch of properties that change the look and feel of the game. This includes pre-built color grading and post-processing options.
We are able to preview our game at any time by simply clicking the play button or pressing the F5 key. We are also able to travel to a preview server independently and load in changes from the editor that other creators have made.
All Crayta games come with a player template and user template. These templates automatically handle important game logic such as player and camera controls. Similar functionality can be found and imported with packages in Unreal and Unity. Whereas it can be tricky to implement multiplayer features in many game engines, Crayta comes with multiplayer functionality built in by default, with script entry points for users logging in and logging out of your particular server instance. Crayta has been built with collaboration in mind, and players work together within the same server instance, allowing them to see and make changes in real time, similar to how Google Docs works. This functionality also expands to the code editor for scripts and widgets.
Games can be created from a starter or example map, giving you a world with pre-built logic and a basic environment to give you a creative head start, in a similar way to how other game engines provide pre-built starter content.
Once in the starter map, we can see that our world tree is already populated with some entities. In here, we'll find the game entity, and attached to that is our game script. The game script is the same across all of our starter maps and can be configured via the exposed properties here in the property window. We also see that our player and user templates come with a number of script folders by default. These script folders contain the various scripts and UI widgets required for the gameplay. If we preview our game now, you'll see that we have a fully operational game to build from.